My name is Betty Dixon Nee Hunter. I'm a body woman. I'm a body jabba jabba woman. My dad is a body man, and my mother is a jabba jabba woman. So I'm a Dampier and Middle Dampier Peninsula woman.
I'm Roberta and Hunter. I'm a bard woman, and my father is Robert John Hunter from Bard Country, and my mother is Josephine Torres from Jabba Jabba.
I was taken away from my mother when I was about 3 years old, put in Lombardina Mission, and I came out when I was about 13 from the mission. So when I was around about 3 years old, I used to stay in that convent with the nuns till I got used to the place. Then they put me in back in the dormitory. There was cots everywhere. There was two sides of the place. There was the big girls, where the big girls stayed to look after the babies, and then there was on the other side where the ones when we grew up enough size at the age of 6, we moved up to the other side of that dormitory.
There used to be presbytery where the father lived. Just coming in, when you come into Jardin, there used to be a gate, a fence, so we'd open the gate for everybody to come. And even the Land Rovers in the bus and things. And when you come in, the church and the cemetery was on this side. So when you come in, you see the cemetery, then you see the little church. The convent was over here. So the church was sort of here in between the presbytery and the convent. The presbytery was the father's place. And just around the side, there used to be a store where every pension, the old people would come down and they'd sit outside the shops and wait for it to open so they can get ration. It was sort of a big long house, and it was divided, like we had sort of like this opening, and then we had the sewing room on the side where we did all the sewing, anything torn on, and even for folding up clothes and wash it and hang it up. We had our own laundry as well. Everyone had their own chores for the girls and boys that lived in the mission. So we had girls who worked in the laundry that did the washing, the girls that did the hanging up, and we had some that did the ironing too for everyone and folding up. And then we had girls in the sewing room too. They sew up all the clothes.
And there was the convent where we used to sit down when we were 6 years old. We were just 6 years old, and we used to sit at the convent there by the blinkers, and we used to do our weeding. We used to do the weeding, and we used to scrape all the weeds, so leaf or whatever, with our little fingers to clean that, keep the blinkers clean. Otherwise, if we don't do it, we'll either get punished or thing, or we had to do it, what we have to do.
We had long showers. Each girl had their own shower, the communal showers and toilets together. But like that, we still had it like that. And we had one big old house, and there was a schoolroom from grade 7 or 6? 6 then, grade 6 right down to grade 1, kindergarten.
You were going back to the mission. We never had time, even at school. If we didn't listen at school, we'd get a cane. The nuns used to call us up, and we just hold our hands out like this. And when the cane came, we pulled back like that. But they used to grab us sometimes and hold our hands so the other one came. give us the cane in our hands.
And if they
And it
didn't
was-
have any cane, it was the
They set us.
oleander tree. Oleander tree. They look like roses, those trees. And they really,
Stingy.
you know. But we have wells, and when we jump around from them, you know, put it all down the legs and all around, you know, these wells. Sometimes they'd cut our skin, sometimes they won't cut our skin. They just have big wells, get up and they'd go down again.
There was a nanny, like I think the priest used to pick girls out to go and clean up his presbytery or the church or the visitors' little rooms, you know. And every time our girls used to go out there in the rooms, clean up or clean his shower up, he was always there at the door when we had cleaning his shower. And he was just standing there with his big body and watching at us girls. And we used to just hold on to each other. So we used to be frightened of him the way. And I think one day it was lucky that he came and he was standing in front of us, all girls. And someone came at the right time and knocked at the door for him. So he went around there to see who it was. And when he went around there, all of us girls, maybe 4 or 5 of us, we just went through that back door where his shower was and straight back to the dormitory. And when he sent for the nuns to tell us to go back to clean up, you think any of us girls went back? We didn't go back, no way. Even though we got punished by the nuns, it was the girls all my age and older, you know. Most of those girls, I think those girls have passed away now at my age. We had I know that I had a hard life there from the priest and the nuns and the girls at the dormitory, because you know how you see the bullying at school. Well, that's how we was at the dormitories. There were bullies and all that. It was our big sister. She passed away. She passed away now, but she was mother and sister to us. So something must have happened one day, because our sister just took us out of the dormitory. Then we went up the hill. He made us 3 little brick and 1 big one for her. And there's 2 small fruit cans or milk tins, you know, milk tins. Billy can they put a thing around there and fill the water up for us. Then we ran away. We went up the hill, down the hill, and walked along the beach. And when we reached the beach, she told us to have a shower. Swim in the water to cool off. Then we walked again along the beach. Then we walked up the hill to Gregory's well. And just going down the hill, he made us to have a rest again in the shade. So we had a rest. So when we felt strong again, we walked down to the windmill again and then had a swim in the bullock trough, right?
Yeah. Not that big tank.
The big tank.
They used to have
They
windmill,
had the water running
and
there.
that water, the pipe used to go into the big tank and flow into the big tank. And there's a big, so we could swim around there. But it's scary.
Yeah. So he made us swim around there to cool off again. Then we jumped out and we started walking through the bush again. That's why when I look at a rabbit-proof fence, it reminds me of us doing that, our 3 sisters. And yeah, she made us walk through the bush, and we came to this other windmill, Ngamagon it's called. He had us swim there again, had a rest. Then we walked through the marsh, and was up the hill and down the beach again.
Walking was nothing for us.
So it'd be in the late afternoon when we reached that where the airport was, and that's where our sister told us to hide in the bush in case the priest come looking for us. So we hid in the bush and he ran across the airport to pick our gully and our gully up,
Yeah.
and came back with him. So our gully carried her, and we walked back to up the hill to where he was staying. And I don't know how long we stayed there. We never stayed there for 1 or 2 days, eh?
Auntie Joe was really jumpy because he know these small would come for us.
Yeah.
Looking Gulliman for. We stayed. These old people had their own little house down the bottom. Down the beach. There's a lot of trees so we can run around and hide.
Yeah, well then, the priest came looking for us, and then we had our gully had no power in those days. Our people had no power to overrun those things. So they had to come and take us away from them. And they brought us all the way back to La Medina. And we had to get locked up in the dormitory again. And we got punished from them. We stayed in the dormitory, and they wouldn't let us out till it was about tea time or the next morning, But I didn't think anything about it till when we started going up and taking notice of other kids, with their parents and all this, and like we didn't have that love and thing like they did. See, we was taken up from our mother. We didn't know our mother. Well, for me, when I was growing up and I seen all that, I blamed my mother. I thought she gave us away and put us on the mission. So with that, even when I came back to town, I used to blame her and all this. And I met some old people who was also taken away, but they was taken away to Beagle Bay Mission. And they asked me who I was, and I told them, and they said, "Oh, Josephine Torres." Well, this was her maiden name. And I said, "Yes." And he said, "Well, don't hate her because it's not her fault. She was, she had a hard life too, and it wasn't her fault to do that. But it was very hard for me to try to think of that, get that thing to think, because even though when we was here, when I was in Broome, when I came out from the mission, I still used to feel that split, in between. Like, she tried to get close to me and all that, but I was afraid to get too close to her because I still had that feeling that she gave me away, and I was to take it out on her. And yeah, because of all those things that happened to me in the mission, I still feel that hate for the nuns and the priest.
We still grew up with a lot of old people who told us what our traditions.
Yeah.
And we went, when they had law there, we still went to the law. We still went to the...
That was the main part for us anyway, for our old people, because the stories they used to tell us about, and we kept it with us all the way. They told us where we came from, and where our fathers came from. We didn't know that we was in our father's country. And they told us all those things. And even though when we used to think they used to tell us, when they found out it was my dad, when I found out it was who my dad was, when the old people found out who my dad was, they just held their hands out, the land and the sea, and they told me that this is your country. And I felt so proud of my old people telling me that. And I just looked at the blue sea, the white sand, the red sand, and the green trees. And I felt so proud of that place. But it hurt when you sing, because I know now how when I see some children ranting, and I know I have the feelings when I see them, who have lost their parents, who've been taken away and things. That's why when I got out of the mission, when I held my first son, when I held that first baby in my arms, I promised myself that he will never be taken away from me. And that's why I try to be a good mother for all my children, you know. So that's why I promised myself I'll never drink, I'll never smoke, I'll never do things, just try to be a good mother to them.
I sort of found it. I sort of missed the mission after I left there. Whatever.
I didn't miss the mission, I just missed my old people up the hill, that's all.
Yeah, I just missed all my old people from the mission. I would miss them, and they. Makes me sad when I think about this part. They used to chase after the. They used to chase after the trucks when they used to take us, and they used to. When they couldn't catch the truck up, they pulled it on the ground, and they used to hit their head too, you know, kind of just traditional way. Gold and Granny used to run after us and they drop on the ground. I always remember that, right?
Yeah, they taught us about life. They taught us how to survive in the bush.
Don't you worry, they used to hit us too. If we've been naughty.
That's how if we get lost or break down in the bush, we'd know how to survive because we know what to get, what to eat and what not to eat, you know, and where to get water from.
It didn't seem the same after that. Everything seemed to change. Life seemed to change, you know. And then when I seen them again, they look so old and so thin. And that's the last time I've seen them. I said I didn't even see them before I left. In their last days, you know? In their last days, I didn't see them. I don't know what happened to them. They used to be good too, because under the albi tree, and they used to take us on to that albi tree. With a big branch there, they ride it like a horse. Get on the branch, you know? All the kids used to.
It was a bit scary coming out of the mission because when I first came out of the mission and I used to see everyone walking around town, even dead, I used to think they were all sick people. I didn't know they were all drunk, and I wanted to go back to the mission because I thought Broome was all with sick people. And my husband told me, no, we're not sick people, we're just drunk. We drink that stuff there, they told me. So I had to get used to what thing. Then I had to sit with, then we had to sit with my grandfather, another grandfather, Grandpa Robert's brother, Grandpa Chris. We used to sit out at Chinatown there. There's an old shop named Tangway. We just sat there with him. One night we were sitting down in the old house, sitting down, meet each other, and then meet each other, stand and talk with it, talking and saying, and we were sitting on it, and he wanted to kiss me, you know. My boyfriend came, and next minute we look, and we said, torch. We seen torch right on our face, and someone laughing from the window at us. Yeah, well, that's how I met him. And he taught me about life then, about life in town.
Yeah.
Like hatred for people in town and all this. And he used to tell me, no, you don't go around there because I'm doing that. You find out first the right and the wrongs, he told me. You know, that's what he taught me, the rights and the wrongs. And that's how I lived my life then. I used to always think of what he said, and I'd always think about it, and I'll go on with my life instead. And that's why today, that's why I just stay by myself and just sing, you know.
And after my high school in Derby, only with my third year high school certificate, that's all I had to show everybody around here. If I can get a job, that's the only certificate I had to show that, you know, to give me a job. Pass my third year high school, look. And that's how I got jobs around the place.
And then for me, I couldn't sing, but I couldn't work because I had epilepsy. I got hit by a big stick here, and the mark it shows up here. It goes right back up there. And I was out like a light. Couldn't see anything. And it was the old people, what we call Jalkovos, man. The doctor, our Aboriginal doctor, fixed me up, brought me back to life. I could have been in Lomadina Cemetery today, but he brought me back to life. And I still can see and I still can feel all those things happening to me. I still carry all those things with that old man. And I still hear his voice. So it was a very hard thing, that's why. And all those things that were being said from the mission, the nuns and the priests kept it a secret, the welfare kept it a secret. They all got all those things. They all should have had all those paperwork done, knowing what happened to me. I don't know about the hospital because I was taken to the back hospital, the old hospital where the things stay, the old native hospital in Broome. But there's something happened and all the papers and everything got burnt, so that my thing would be unlucky. Paper must have got burnt there. Well, that anger is still with me, and I don't think it will ever end for that mission. Because I still think that I've never been treated well there.